Can you really believe these people in the Old Testament, how wicked and evil they were? Abraham tried to kill his own son. So that means you can't trust the Bible. That's a terrible book to get guidance from. Hold on. Not so fast. Let's talk about this. Hello, I'm Methodist Dave. I'm a professional theologian and Bible teacher. And today we're at Genesis chapter 21. And this is the story of Isaac's birth. Now, in some of the other videos, I shared with you how the angels came and told Abraham that he would have in 1 year a child. And Abraham had tried to jumpstart God's plan by inviting Hagar, the maidservant, and impregnating her. But God says this child of promise is not going to be through this Egyptian servant woman. So finally, Sarah has a baby boy. Abraham is 100 and Sarah is 90. Wow, talk about older parents. Well, Isaac is born, and he's named Isaac, which means laughter, because when the angel told Sarah that she was going to have a child, she laughed. Well, they named him Laughter. And Isaac begins to grow. But remember, Abraham still has an older son named Ishmael. Now, Isaac is an infant, but Ishmael is probably close to being a teenager. He's finally fun for his father. I mean, it's a good thing that babies are so cute because they're really annoying houseplants for the first 6 months of their lives. They cry, they scream, all they want to do is eat, sleep, and cry and miss their diapers. But Ishmael is fun. He can go hunting with Dad. He and Dad can go out and do things together. And Isaac now comes to the point where he's weaned. It's a big ceremony. He doesn't have to, he can begin to eat his own food. So he's probably a toddler. And Ishmael's probably 13, 14 years old. And we read that he is mocking Isaac because he's a toddler, and that's what older brothers do. The things that I did to my youngest brother. Whew. He's in therapy to this day. Well, at any rate, Sarah sees this and she doesn't like it. So she says to Abraham, get rid of her, get rid of his son. Because maybe she sees that Hagar is going to position her son, and things happen to little kids. So maybe she's actually afraid for her son's safety. Abraham is indignant. I like the boy. He's my son. He's my boy. We're pals. We go hunting together. We go fishing together. We go watch soccer. We get to watch whatever game it is that their sports that they had. They would sit and watch and talk sports together. They have a good relationship. And Abraham loves his boy Ishmael. Sarah says, get rid of them. And Abraham is indignant. And God speaks to Abraham and says, listen to your wife. The boy needs to go. Well, this is where it takes a dark turn. See, Abraham sends Hagar away and Ishmael, his son. He gives her a skin of water and some food, maybe a couple loaves of bread. And that's it. No other supplies, no other help, just off with you. I'm shocked at the callousness, this bad parent. Abraham has the means. He could have sent her away with other servants. There could have been at least camels, pack animals to carry more water, more food, more supplies. They could have been sent along to another location. No, he sends the two of them out into the wilderness alone, most likely hoping they'll die. This is not a good picture of Abraham. And we read that They run out of food, they run out of water, and they're near dying. Hagar takes Ishmael and puts him under a bush, and she goes away. She goes a little distance away because they're on the verge of dying, and she doesn't want to see her son die. But an angel appears to Hagar and says, "Don't worry, Hagar. God has heard Ishmael's prayers." Found it interesting that Ishmael is praying to God, not Hagar. She's an Egyptian. She's a pagan. This is why God didn't want her part of Ishmael's life, part of the child of the promise, that she would be leading her son away into pagan practices. But Ishmael has been influenced by his father. His father worships the true God. So Ishmael is praying to God for help. God hears Ishmael's prayers and leads Hagar to a spring. And she gets water and revives her son. They come back and they're able to complete their journey. And she finds Ishmael an Egyptian wife. Notice she went back to her home, brought him an Egyptian wife. And Ishmael is married and has many children. And over the course of time, Ishmael becomes a mighty people. He will also have many descendants. And the descendants of Ishmael are the Arab peoples. In the religion of Islam, in their book, the Holy Quran, the son of the promise is not Isaac, it's Ishmael. And that the Arabs, the descendants of Ishmael, they're the children that God promised the land. But what I find interesting is that no matter what, Abraham is always God's friend. But here, Abraham is doing something reprehensible. And God doesn't abandon him. But God does look out for his son. And it's important to realize that even people who are true to God, people who are believers of God, we don't always do things right. Sometimes we just mess up something ferocious. God doesn't give up on us. Eventually, Abraham will get it. He'll stop being a man of doubt and he'll become a man of faith. He'll finally trust God. He'll finally get to that place where he's got it figured out. So if you, in your faith journey, if you make mistakes and you mess up, then don't give up. God's probably still working with you. If you've got a question on this subject or any other subject, just drop me a line at methodistdave@gmail.com. And also you can check out some other channels like Inspiring Philosophy and Theist Brooks. And I hope that you will do your best to look out for and take care of one another. Until the next time, good day.